Hello, my Beatles friends! From that little introduction, I think you already understood what exactly am I going to talk about today. Today we're going to talk about this nice little package that came 10 days ago. And as you saw my last video, that was the craziest unboxing ever. Now I'm calm, everything's settled down, and it's time to show you in detail what we're talking about. First of all, I'd like to wish everybody to stay healthy in this coronavirus craziness that's going on in the world. I'm staying at home, I'm isolated and I feel great, and I hope everybody feels the same. And I wish that all people who are unfortunately sick get well as soon as possible. Alright? Okay, let's go to the documentation first. And I'll show you what exactly are we talking about. So, the item that I bought is from Trax, of course. The only place that I can trust buying such an expensive and crazy autographs. Okay, so this is as you can see, my voice is a little bit also weak, but anyway, this is the letter of authenticity. Okay, so let's read. John Lennon and George Harrison 1966 autographed Qantas Airlines menu. This is to confirm the authenticity of the item described and illustrated herein. A Qantas Airlines menu that has been autographed inside by John Lennon and George Harrison in blue ballpoint pen. The signature is dated circa 1966. The previous owner has glued a picture of each Beatle onto one of the pages inside the menu. Well, that's not exactly true, but it's true. The item is supported by a lifetime guarantee of authenticity and money-back warranty. January the 2nd, 2020. Okay, so that's the letter of authenticity. Here we have a letter of the previous owner of this item. So, I'm not gonna test your patience, I will show you the item. Okay, so that's the item that we're talking about. I'm slowly gonna take it out from a foil. Okay, so that's the menu, that's the back. Here inside, on the first page, we have a picture of street in Sydney, which is George Street, Sydney, in the 60s. And here on the second page we have full, beautiful autographs by John and George. Then the next page we do have the actual menu, and those pictures are glued on the other side of the autographed page, and this picture of John and George are separate and Ringo and Paul are one piece. So it's 3 pieces. Here we have some beverages and first class menu. And here on the last page it's blank. And here some religious notes. Okay, so let me show you once again the autographs. And later in the video I will make a photo of the autographs and I will put it in the video so you can see it clearly. Now, unfortunately, that thing cannot be framed because when an autograph is signed by ballpoint pen, it will fade out. So I don't want it to fade out because the autographs are very thin and there is a pressure on a paper, yes, but I don't want the color to fade out because it will be, according to this letter, it has been stored for 43 years. And I hope that if somebody did it, I can do it as well. So I will just keep it closed. I can frame this one, but not the original. Okay, so let me read the letter of the previous owner, not the one who took the autographs, the one who owed it for 43 years. Okay, so I'm going to read the letter. I'm not going to say any names because it's a private person, but I will just read the letter. Thanks again that we come together in this direction and that we have this transaction together well behind us. Well, the guy is from Austria, from Vienna, and his English is not the best. And according to the English that I read, I can say for sure that he wrote entire text in German and he just translated it. Okay, if you read that sentence as it is in German, it's absolutely okay. Okay. So my assumption is that he wrote everything in German and he translated it. Okay, anyway. Here is my story I can still remember. At that time, I had a friend who was a flight attendant. So imagine yourself, a flight attendant that had a motorcycle where this part broke. So, flight attendant who was working in Qantas Airlines, sorry, one day he met John and George in the airline. He took an autograph, and that flight attendant had a motorcycle which was broke. Well, one part of it was broke. Broken, not broke. But let's forgive that guy. To buy this part was too expensive for him and he asked me if I could not rebuild it for him. Okay, so this flight attendant with a broken motorcycle part wanted to fix it but didn't have enough money to pay for it, so he asked this Austrian guy to fix it. I was a learned toolmaker. I am already retired. So this guy, Austrian guy, was something learned toolmaker, but now he's already retired. And so he could make this motorbike part. And so he could make this motorbike part. Okay? So he fixed it for him. Of course, in exchange for this menu with the Beatles' signatures. So imagine yourself a situation. You are a flight attendant, you see two guys sitting somewhere in a first class, and you go to them and you get their autographs. It happens to be John and George from some little band, who knows. And then you come back home and your motorcycle is broken and you're asking your friend to fix it and you don't have money to pay for it. And what you're doing? You're giving him the autographs as a payment for repaired motorcycle. Now, my question is the following. How long did that motorcycle last? Another 5-6 years? Okay. These autographs are for another 100 years, but then I don't know what happens. So he kept it for 43 years. I wonder how long did he keep that motorcycle? Well, makes me wonder. Makes me just imagine what value did it have way back then. Just imagine that. Okay, and since then, she is in my possession. Well, I think he refers to she as a menu. Obviously, because in English we don't have he or she for the nouns, but in German we do have. So I think he wrote sie, S-I-E, as she, referring to a menu. I think so, not for sure. That about 43 years ago. Okay? So he repaired the guy's motorcycle part and he got the autographs as a payment. Okay. Where he got this menu with his signatures unfortunately escapes my knowledge. Probably from an airport stop, the Beatles. Okay, transit flight somewhere. Because in 1966, Beatles had not so many tours. I mean, the last one was in America for sure. But they also had Japan, Philippines, and I believe Germany. And since Qantas is the Australian airline, they didn't have any Australian tour that year. The Australia was 1964. So I think Qantas also provided services for flights between Germany and Japan, or Germany-Philippines, or maybe Japan-Philippines to Great Britain. Who knows? but I'm sure it was taken from somewhere there, and maybe they had a transit stop somewhere. Who knows? Also certify the authenticity of this document. Okay. So, that's the letter. Now, about the menu. On the first page that we saw, there is a George Street, Sydney. It was photographed something around 60s. And on the front cover, we have a drawing of that same street from the same position, but much earlier. I mean, I believe it's 19th century. And that picture was made especially from that point from where this drawing is made. Okay, so that's the menu. And okay, so let me show it to you once again. That's the menu, Qantas menu, and that's the back. Printed in Australia by John Sands, Pty Limited, Sydney. That's the back. So let me show you the signatures from a close range, that you can see what exactly we have. So this is George and this is John, and that is the logo of the airline, which is, I believe, Kangaroo. Okay, that's it. So my friends, that was the item that I wanted to show, one of the most expensive items in my collection, and now I have all four, as you can see it here. And also I have a word written by Ringo, which is the Beatles. I can safely say that I have the entire Beatles autograph collection. Of course, it would be nice to have all four together, but you know, I'm grateful for what I have. And since I met Paul McCartney in person, this Paul McCartney autograph is the best for me. I mean, there is no other Paul McCartney autograph that could be better and closer and more expensive to me than the one that I got personally. It may not be the best, it may not be the most beautiful or most unique or anything, but it has my name on it, my brother's name on it, and Paul McCartney's name on it. Okay, so this is the only time that Paul McCartney will write two of those names above his own. That's the unique one in the world. Just like all the others that you have over there signed to you. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and I have some new items that I found, and I will be showing it to you in my next videos. And as you can see, my voice is a little bit weak today, and it's time for me to drink some hot tea. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in my next videos. Bye bye!